welcome to One Drink Podcast, where we talk about one topic for one drink. I'm Matthew.
I'm Ryan.
And today we're going back into the 80s again.
Back to the 80s.
And we're talking about the Karate Kid. The first Karate Kid.
The first Karate Kid,
yes.
Probably my second favorite one.
Out of all of them?
Out of all of them, yeah. It would go 2, then 1, then 3.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And 4 doesn't even exist.
So I watched 1 for sure. It's just a fantastic movie.
It's so classic.
Yeah. And number 2, I did watch. Number 3, I can admit, I did not watch.
You've never seen it?
Clips. Okay. What's it about? Is that where...
3 is... Oh my gosh, I'd have to watch it again. But they go back to the U.S. and then...
Isn't it with that chick? Or no?
No, it's still Daniel and Miyagi.
Oh, damn.
The 4th one, the next Karate Kid, is Miyagi and the chick.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Sandra Bullock or something.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Sandra Bullock.
They have to save the president.
So yes, this film came out in 1984.
Summer of 1984, June 22nd.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a little synopsis of this. So people who may not know, I don't know how you don't.
If you're watching this 80s show, then you have to know the Karate Kid.
Yes, that is very
in
true.
one way or another.
But for all the people that are new to this, and they're like, the 80s, that's so long ago? I mean,
yeah.
This is the synopsis. Daniel moves to Southern California with his mother, Lucille, but quickly finds himself a target of a group of bullies who study karate at the Cobrakai dojo.
Cobrakai, never die.
Never. Fortunately, Daniel befriends Mr. Miagi, an unassuming repairman who just happens to be a martial art master himself.
So good.
Right?
Randomly.
And he's just a little guy, you know? Miyagi takes Daniel's son.
Daniel's son.
It's just, it's just stuck in my head.
That's the only way you gotta say it.
Yeah,
saying Daniel sounds so weird.
Yeah, it's like, it's Daniel's son. Under his wing, training him in more compassionate form of karate and preparing him to compete against the brutal Cobra Kai.
The very violent Cobra Kai.
Ooh, now,
Miyagi kind of runs his dojo, his training as like an empathetic defense only. Like, use it when you have to. Don't use it for offense.
Yes, he's very, what's the word we're looking for here? Don't use it for fun. Use it
for one. No.
No. What's that word? It's
defense?
I guess. Which I don't know.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and as soon as he came into the movie, he was my favorite character.
That's your favorite character?
Right away.
Okay. Yeah. He is great.
I mean, it was Pat. I was just like, you know, he wasn't he trying to catch flies with chopsticks?
Oh yeah. So, and he's never done it before. Like, Daniel comes into the dojo or whatever, and Miyagi's just
yeah.
And Daniel's like, "What are you doing?" Wouldn't a fly swatter be easier?
Yeah.
Man who catch fly with chopstick
and then
can do anything.
I think Danielson later on down the road did it, right?
Oh, right at the same meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Daniel picks up the chopsticks and he goes,
I did it!
I
did it!
Yeah, Miyagi goes, if one. And Daniel catches it on like the 5th try.
Yeah.
Miyagi's never done it before. And Danielson
comes in. He was the chosen one.
He was beginner's luck.
Yeah. So what I was thinking too is I was like in the 80s, right? This movie comes out. It's about karate. Dude, karate dojos around the world, the United States, had to have just been pumping.
Just blew up.
Because, you know, you watch the movie, even if you don't know karate, you think you know it.
Yeah.
But it was at that prime spot where, like, or prime time where, you know, parents were like, what a great idea. Let's just send my kid to karate class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So karate classes all over the world, I can only imagine.
Just filled up with new students.
And they're all just like, I'm Daniel-san.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're like, when are we going to learn the crane kick? This is bullshit.
I don't want to do these katas. This is stupid.
Ki-eyes.
Yeah.
No, especially in the 70s, karate was huge.
Right.
Just huge. And then in the 80s, it just took on another life with the Karate Kid movie coming out. And just kids everywhere just wanted to learn karate. And be like Danielson, Cobra Kai.
Yeah, for sure, because it's so relatable. Now, listen, you know, there's always bullies in high school. There's always the one kid, you know, and for him to learn from the master. Yeah. I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah. Miyagi. He kept correcting him throughout the whole movie too. He's like, "Hey, Mr. Miyagi." He's like, "Miyagi."
Yeah. And so I'm sure you can agree with me on this as well. When you watch this movie, it's great, right?
Oh yeah.
And one of the most famous lines in all movies, right? Wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
And even when
wax off.
And that was one of his moves.
One of
you know what
training.
I mean?
Yeah. Danielson's fucking waxing a cut. He's like, what am I doing? Miyagi's wax on. Yeah. Wax off. And Daniel has no idea that he's learning karate as he's doing all these stupid chores.
Yep. And even when you talk to people, you know, you're like, hey, have you seen Karate Kid? You know, right away they're like, oh, wax on, wax off. Yeah, and you're just like, yes.
Yeah. I was a bigger fan of like paint defense.
Oh, right. So
up.
So yeah.
Down. Up. Down.
And so, you know, watching this, you know, the wax on, wax off, painting the fence, and then he had to do the one in the canoe. I think for balance.
Yeah, for balance.
Yeah. And then when it finally gets to the, you know, the fight at the end, it all comes into play. Yeah, you're just like, oh, I mean, my God.
after like Danielson's like, he's just getting pissed of all these chores. He's like, what the fuck? I thought I was supposed to be learning karate.
Yeah.
And he goes up to Miyagi after like Sandaflo or something like that.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought you were going to teach me karate. And Miyagi's like, all right, look,
Yeah.
And he just like pulls out all the moves. He's like,
Puja!
Yeah. He's just like, show me wax on, wax off. And he's like, wax on, wax off. And then Miyagi just pulls out the moves, showing him like,
right.
I'm going to punch you, now wax on blocks that.
Yeah.
And then it's like it all clicks and he's like, oh, fuck.
He's like, oh, shit. And now I can also imagine, besides karate classes blowing up, everyone thought they could probably fight.
Yeah.
You know, after watching this, they're like, oh, okay, you want to fight? All right, come on. And, you know, some dudes are standing up like this, or they're just like ready to do this, or this.
None of it works.
And you just get knocked out.
Dude, if you knew somebody like taking karate, you're like, oh shit, like he's probably a good fighter.
Right.
But they weren't learning the Karate Kid moves.
Exactly.
When you saw the moves, you're like, oh, that's not.
Because I know that me and my friends, at least, I mean, I was 8 years old when this came out.
Oh yeah,
close to
84.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I was 6,
7.
Yeah.
So you know, you're like, dude, punch me. Dude, come on, punch me. You know, I just was like,
dude, punch me. Try it. Yeah. Try it, dude.
And then, you know, you try all this other shit, and it didn't work. But for Danielson, it did.
It worked. Yeah. Of course, that's a movie. If it didn't work, then he fucking blows it.
And then, you know, the cool thing too is that the Cobra guy, those were the cool guys.
Yeah, the Cobra Kai were so cool. Just like the red and black jackets.
Yep. And then the uniform, I learned.
Oh my God.
The skeleton.
Oh yeah. Right? Yes.
So I learned just recently, since we were doing the show, that they weren't gonna have the skeleton on it. It was just gonna be a black suit.
Ew.
Yeah. So the director was like, it's just not. It's not as cool or fun.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't stick out.
And plus that was from like the Halloween dance.
Yeah, yeah. So and thank God he did that, because could you imagine just them coming in and you're just like, oh, dudes in black suits. That's like, what are you supposed to do?
Like,
yeah, it's just so boring.
Ninjas. And they just know karate.
And he had that, what was he, that goddamn shower?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Miyagi made him the costume. Miyagi was like, are you going to dance?
Yeah.
He was like, nah, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Unless I can be invisible and no one can see me. And Miyagi's like,
I got you.
He's got an idea.
Yeah.
Sends him in a shower curtain, just a ring in his back.
Yeah.
Sticking up, shower curtain around it.
Oh,
and he's got a seatbelt from a car to keep it. Yeah. Oh, so that was that Halloween dance was so good. There's so many good, like when like Johnny's in the bathroom.
Yep.
When he sets up the hose.
Yep.
Over when Danielson comes in, sets up the hose over the stall to like wash out Johnny. Yep. He's rolling a joint in the stall.
Oh man.
His buddy comes in, he's like, "Hey Johnny, you done rolling that number yet?" That number.
That was the slang back then.
Yeah. Done with rolling that number yet?
And then even like the mini golf, you know, was always they made that more dramatic than it had to be.
Yeah.
But we were talking earlier, and probably one of the greatest songs that still sticks around.
So good.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever get enough. Yes.
It's so good. If I fucking ruled the world, that song would come on, and whenever I walked into a fucking room, that song would come on.
And now I forgot who sings it. Do you?
It's Esposito.
Okay.
I forget his first name.
So that dude is set for life. I mean, it still gets played even in songs or movies or anything today. Yeah. Because it's so fitting. You know?
And fun fact, everybody.
Let's hear it.
That song was originally written for Rocky III.
Was it?
Yeah. It was originally written for Rocky III, and then they decided to go with Eye of the Tiger instead.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So,
that's a fun fact I learned.
Could you imagine? I mean, it would still kind of fit, though.
Eye of the Tiger on Danielson?
No.
Or You're the Best.
Yeah, like, Rocky. What's he running up the stairs or whatever?
Yeah, it's just the training montage. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Rocky would actually... It's just amazing to me how that can change a whole thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because Rocky would not be Rocky without Eye of the Tiger.
No.
You know? And then instead of it's, you're the best.
Yeah, it's like,
all right. And he's all jacked up.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Is he the best? Or does he have an Eye of the Tiger?
It fits Daniel. It fits the Karate Kid more.
Yeah.
Because he's more just
skinny. Like, you're the best. You're the best. Rocky's like,
oh, shit.
I know I'm the best. I don't need a song to tell me that.
Oh, my God.
I don't need a song to tell me that.
That would be so funny.
Yeah, that soundtrack, the whole thing is just classic. I was listening to it at work on my ear pods, and there's so many good songs.
And you're just like, whoa, oh wait, I remember this.
Yeah.
I remember this.
And you remember what part it was played at?
Yeah.
There's like Cruel Summer by Bananarama is on there.
If I heard it, I'd probably...
It's a cruel summer.
Oh.
When you're gone.
Was that the mini golf scene?
I think it was, yeah. Or after you got like kicked in the face the third time.
on the beach.
It's a fucking cruel summer, Danielson.
It's all right.
Learn some fucking karate.
You'll get him back.
Yeah. They would play that song on the radio, though. I remember it being played on the radio. It was like 98 PXY or something like that. It's gonna be a cruel summer if you're not the 10th caller.
Yeah.
We've got 2 tickets to go see the Karate Kid.
Come on, I want to see it. But I mean, the movie, you know, the premises seems kind of like you're like, you know, whatever. But
yeah.
It was one of the movies in the 80s, that whole decade, that just stuck out. Amongst, I mean, there was a ton of cool 80s movies.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what got you into liking all this 80s stuff anyways? Is it just, flashbacks or?
Yeah, it's nostalgia.
Yeah. Same here,
growing
same
up
with
in
me.
the 80s and just like going back to like, oh yeah, that fucking movie rules.
Right.
Like that toy rules.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's crazy because when you compare the 80s to now, it is completely different.
So different.
Like 100% because there's no cell phones.
Yeah.
There's no green screens.
Yeah.
There's no, like, just everything is completely different from now.
Yeah, yeah.
So going back, you know, when you were like, oh, dude, I love the 80s too. And I was like, oh, shit, I do an 80s show, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're like, I'm down. And I was like, well, anytime. So.
I fucking love talking about it. I got the goddamn No Mercy Cobra Kai t-shirt on.
Shit. I didn't even notice
Strike first, strike hard. No mercy.
I did not even notice that.
Yeah.
And
fear is not a word in this dojo.
Oh,
is
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
No, sensei.
Yeah, because that dude was like a strict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was.
And didn't Miyagi beat him up? Like, or I mean, I know the fight scene was not the greatest, but
at the beginning of like Karate Kid 2, they show like an after the tournament thing out in the parking lot.
That's what it was.
Where like John Kreese, which is the Cobra Kai sensei, he's like, he wants to fight Miyagi in the parking lot.
Yeah, and I remember that fight scene really wasn't the greatest because, you know, Miyagi's...
No, Miyagi just stands in front of a car window, the driver's side window. Yeah, he goes, just moves. He doesn't use any of the wax on, no up down, no sai.
That's all we need.
He just moves to the side and John Kreese punches through the window and bloody fist.
And so another classic line from that movie too is at the end when, you know, they're in the tournament. Sweep the leg, Johnny!
Sweep the leg.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with that? No, sensei? Yeah. Sweep the leg is so good. That was like... And that looked like it hurt too.
I mean, yeah.
Watching that, like I just watched the movie over the weekend or over the past couple of days, just like get a refresher. And man, he kicks him like right in that like hamstring. Like,
it's so great.
And just like the way Johnny like pronounces his like his like yeah. It just sounds so badass.
His
like
effects.
Yeah, it's just like you hear it. Like Daniel must have heard it like in his nightmares, just like.
And it was great too because, you know, of course he gets hurt.
He gets hurt.
And then he's like, okay, I've got one move left. I've got to use it. And, you know, he does the thing and I was just like,
yeah.
Oh, I remember on the boat.
Yeah.
The balancing, and then he was on that.
On the stump on the beach.
Stump, yeah,
he sees Miyagi doing it and he's like, I want to do that.
And then I didn't know it was going to be one kick.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was going to be like first time seeing it, you know, I'm just like, oh, what's he gonna do? You know, and then it was just one kick over.
Yeah, right in the nose.
And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. I think it was an illegal kick too.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh,
like throughout the tournament, you're getting punched in the face, and he's like, no.
The refs
go sit down.
The refs were definitely on
the
Cobra Kai side, you know.
Give him a little. Some money on the side.
But great movie all around.
Yeah, such a great movie.
The one thing that I always said, and I was like, there's certain movies that should never be remade. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And this was one of them. And it did get remade. Mm-hmm. And I never did watch it. And not for the fact that whoever was in it. It's just one of those movies to where it just, in my mind, can never be remade the way it was, you know what I mean?
You don't have to touch it.
No.
It's fine.
And it was just like, same with like Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. Like if they ever remake Back to the Future, A, I'm going to be pissed.
You can't do it.
And then B, I'm never going to watch it. No. Just because I can't let something like that movie get ruined.
No.
You know, no matter if the actors are the greatest actors in the world.
Yeah.
It's just one of those movies you do not.
You just don't touch it.
No.
You don't touch it.
And
just thinking about that growing up with that movie, and then it would be made, you know, what was it, 30 years later or so?
Yeah.
I wonder how kids feel about now, like watching movies.
Oh yeah.
When we did, how they would feel about their movies getting remade. Yeah. Like later on, like just like no, it's perfect how it is.
And like some of the stuff, I mean, nowadays you just never know. I mean, is it offensive? Is it not? You know, when they remake it, they're putting all this, you know, new stuff into it, which is fine.
Yeah.
But there's just like the Goonies.
Oh my God.
you can never remake The Goonies.
No, you can't.
Never. You never touch that movie ever.
No.
Right?
No.
Same with, like, for me, I loved Roadhouse. The Double Deuce. You know what I mean? They're redoing it now, and I'm just like, oh.
Oh, they're redoing it?
Yes.
Oh, no.
So it's just one of those movies.
Patrick Swayze's not going to be in it, is it?
No.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those movies that I just won't watch. Because the original is always so...
Yeah, it didn't need to be touched. But the TV series that they came out with, Cobra Kai, have you seen any of that?
Yeah, so I was going to say, they're you know, now, 20, 30 years later, it's still... That was a good concept, though.
Yeah, yeah.
To bring back the original people.
That was key, bringing back the original people and keeping it, like, in line with after the first movie, just like that timeline.
And it was a big hit.
Yeah, it's huge. I love it.
Unfortunately, I never watched one episode.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, that's been the 80s show. The One Drink. Fucking don't watch anything.
I know. I was like, well, one of it, was it on Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix.
Yeah, so I don't have a Netflix account.
It's like 6 seasons long. I think.
Well, I remember the first season, everyone was like, man, this Cobra Kai's pretty good, right?
You should watch it.
Second season, they were like, oh, man, it's, you know.
And they were like, it's got Danielson in it.
Yeah. So then, the third and then the fourth, I was like, is this shit still going on? I'm like, holy shit. So.
Just never crossed your mind just to check out the first episode?
No. I guess I could YouTube it, right? It's got to be on YouTube.
Do you have Netflix?
No, I don't.
This has been the 80s podcast.
I gotta get it. So yes.
You could borrow my Netflix machine.
I'll be watching everything.
There's one quote we didn't bring up, though.
What is it?
Super key. When they're in the tournament, get him a body bag!
Yeah.
He's like,
that's that hyper dude, right?
Yeah. Just fucking insane. And that was improvised too. Like that wasn't in the script.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just blurted that out.
Isn't he the one that says sweep the leg, Johnny?
No, John Kreese, the sensei, brings Johnny over. He's like, come here. That's sweep the leg.
See, I was thinking it was that hyper dude.
Oh no, he's give him a body bag.
Yeah. I mean, damn.
Body bag. Fuck.
That's Danielson.
That's brutal.
So yes, that is our Back to the 80s show, Karate Kid 1.
The Karate Kid.
What a great movie.
Such a good movie.
And I think even I think the younger generation would still like it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
To be updated, just don't touch it. And with Cobra Kai, the show coming out, I'm sure a lot of them have gone back and watched it.
Oh, for sure.
I haven't heard like what their opinions would be.
Where's their cell phones?
Yeah. Why doesn't he just call them?
Yeah. How come they're not texting? What? I mean,
can he just YouTube those moves?
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. When you remix something, it's just gonna be that. It's gonna be like, oh man.
What are chores?
Yeah. We don't do those. So yes, you can follow us on Facebook, watch us on YouTube, listen to our voices on all major platforms where podcasts are played. And all we ask is if you share with one person.
Just one.
Pretty simple, right?
Very simple.
All you got to do is hit the share button.
That's it.
And if you like the 80s, we have plenty more shows coming, and also comment below what your favorite character, part of the movie, anything, favorite song. We already know your favorite song.
That's my favorite song.
We sang it for you earlier.
Badly.
Oh man, that was great. Yeah, so until next time, see ya.
Bye-bye.